oral history and British history. Which one be the original history? Some particular group of people then just they very good and narrate the history of other people. Then we just enter social media, begin the right rubbish. But the people who get this history, say them get within their father tell them oral history. So this our friend won't tell us about the Ikwerre people. Watch the video.
Welcome to the Ikwerre Social Awareness Forum TV. My name is Big Bright. Lately, we'll be seeing and hearing some absurd history by some history revisionists who do not bother to have a deeper study of history from its genesis, but will rather focus on the absurd stories told to some of them by their aggrieved parents who tells history from a biased point of view. The reason for this is because the Igbos always talk about the defunct old eastern region and always accused everyone for its disintegrations except themselves. And we, the people of South, know for a fact that the disintegration of the old eastern region was as a result of the greed and atrocities of the Igbos. They often make it seem like Nigeria started off with the old eastern region and refused to go back to the genesis because these expansionists are always on and off about these issues. You see, prior before the British came to the place known today as Nigeria, what existed were empires. The northern part of Nigeria had its empires, and the southern part of Nigeria as well had its empires. But for the purpose of this, we will center our discussion to the southern part of Nigeria. So, when the British came, they met thriving empires. The southern part of Nigeria had two main empires, which the British met and recorded: the Oyo Empire and the Great Benin Empire. The Benin Empire controlled roughly about 80% southern part of Nigeria, and the Oyo Empire controlled roughly about 20% of southern Nigeria. So, when the British first visited, they met thriving empires in the north and south. Of course, we know about the Igala Empire, but like I said, we won't focus on the empires of the north, but those of the south, since that's where I'm from. The British, who were looking for new territories to conquer and do their business, destroyed all empires in the north and all empires in the south, and they created two regions from the disintegrated empires: the Northern Protectorate and the Southern Protectorate, and had Lagos as a colony. The two created regions of Southern and Northern Protectorates were then amalgamated and called Nigeria, and split into geopolitical zones or regions. Like I said earlier on, our chief focus would be on the south. So the south was split into east and west. These three regions were also subdivided again, and today we have 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria. But some persons are not happy about the creation of the south-south geopolitical zones, and the only reason they often give is that the south-south was carved out of the defunct old eastern region. But they refuse to go back to the genesis because they realize that if they go that lane, you realize that south-south used to be a part of the old eastern region. The old eastern region was carved out of the old southern protectorate, and the old southern protectorate was carved out of the disintegrated Oyo and Benin Empire, who originally owns the entire south. These people are still talking about the old eastern region like it was solely made up of the Igbos alone. As a matter of fact, there are no Igbos in the south-south, but these elements are now claiming that every tribe in the south-south is Igbo, whether you have a similarity with them or not, in a bid to get back their defunct old eastern region. As to the elements doing this, we, the people of the South-South, have this to say: there are no Igbos in the South-South, and the defunct old eastern region is dead and gone, just the same way the Southern Protectorate is dead and no longer exists. Deal with it and move on, or you'll end up creating more enemies for yourself. You've already succeeded in gradually making we, the Ikwerres, your enemies with everything you're doing online. This is the Ikwerre Social Awareness Forum TV, and I remain your host, Big Bright. Thanks for watching.
Sure, you see So for those of you where they write history about Ikwerre people, this one now the history from the Ikwerrians. If you be outsider, I expect you will learn from them. So for those of you now where they write rubbish about other people, at least you should learn from this. Sure, you see